in the salt flat. We just watched most incredible sunset, but we also crashed the drone into the salt water, which is like the worst possible scenario. It just crashed itself. It's supposed to like avoid the obstacles, which was the van, and it just somehow crashed. So we're really anxious about it, still trying to enjoy this beautiful scenery, but yeah, not ideal.
Just doing some midnight breakdown of this drone, opening the whole thing up, getting all the salt out. I've dunked it all in demineralized water, which is the next best option I've read if you don't have like isopropyl alcohol to clean the salt out. So I'm going to let this dry overnight. All the components are completely out and clean. There was already corrosion on some of the terminals, so I'm glad I took it apart, otherwise it would have just been absolutely toast. We spent the night in the freezing cold on this lake. It was like -5 and it was so cold. The windows in the morning were all frozen from the inside, actually, from I think our breath, because there is absolutely zero moisture outside. I'm pretty bummed today because I did try to fix the drone. I took it all apart, put it all back together, but I'm still having problems, so I'm pretty bummed because I really wanted to fly the drone over this salt lake. It would have been a really cool shot, I think. We are out here in the absolute middle of nowhere trying to take some funny photos. They are all pretty corny, but you have to do them while you're here. It's like the only place where this kind of perspective works, because everything is just white, so your camera doesn't know what is going on. Let's see if we got a couple of good ones. Work.
We have to tag our new location.
Tradition here to put stickers on everything. So. Although this road is really good, there's these crazy crystal potholes that are like the size of a watermelon. You look down them and it's like breaking of the crust of the salt lake. Pretty sure if you drove into one, you would do some serious damage to your vehicle. I'd probably pop a tire because they're absolutely massive. So I've really got to look out for them. I'll see if I can show you one. They're pretty scary. So this is one of those bottomless holes I was talking about. Someone's marked this one with a stick, but this just goes, I mean, if I drop the stick down. Now, if you drive over that, you're going to have a bad time. And these things are everywhere on this road. There's another one. How's that for a pothole? So we've just driven about 70 kilometers smack bang in the middle of this salt field, and there is an island here full of cacti. It's incredible. I don't know how this even got here. It looks like volcanic rock, and there's actually birds on the island, which is kind of cool. You would have think nothing would be able to live out here because it is so salty and so dry. Suppose if there's a will, there's a way. What's funny as well, we are actually the only vehicle here which isn't a Toyota Land Cruiser 4x4. I'm counting how many vehicles are there. There's like 30 or 40 vehicles, and they're all identical Land Cruisers 4x4. There's no problem coming on here now while it's dry season. The roads are like concrete and they're actually really nice. So
we just having quick coffee, then we driving back to the town, giving a proper wash to El Cachito. We'll take him for a proper shower. The salt will not eat through like the bottom of our car, so we'll not be running like Flintstones. And we're going probably for a 3-day big trip tomorrow.
All salt, oh my god. It's like caked on so hard. That's the stuff we got to get rid of. And everywhere else in the van, it's pretty salty. Salty van ventures. So you'll have noticed that we actually don't have our van at the moment because first time we are on an organized trip, purely because the road that we really wanted to take was pretty much inaccessible for our van. it would have been a death trap and we probably would have destroyed it, because it is extremely rough road here.
Even with four-wheel drive.
Even with a four-wheel drive. We started from Sala de Uyuni and now we're doing the Laguna route, which basically heads all the way to the Chilean border and back up. And we are going to see some pretty epic scenery, we've been told. So lots of lagunas, lots of flamingos, and at the moment we are at an active volcano, which is just in front of us. And it's 5,800 meters, which is crazy. We are already at 4,200 meters here. So just walking up these little slopes is quite exhausting.
We arrived at this beautiful lake surrounded by volcanoes with hundreds of flamingos. All they do whole day is just eat algae and turning pink. And it's so cute. Buenos dias.
Huh?
No, great.
What's the temperature?
Lovely, -12 degrees.
Oh my god. We are at about 5,000 meters, about the highest we're going to go on this trip, and we've just reached some thermal geysers. But I don't think we're going to touch them to warm up because we'll probably melt.
A few moments later.
Wow, this is a cool place. 2 hours of driving later, we finally arrived at a destination to give our bodies some relief.
Her biggest dream came true. From -12 to hot springs. What else do you want?
And our toes, we can feel them again.
They're light.
This is dream come true. We're still at about 4,500 meters, I think, but man. Hot springs. That was a nice morning. Sitting in the hot tub, and it's still so cold. There's ice on the ground. Made the 4:30 a.m. wake up tolerable.
Approximately 10 hours later.
It really is a never-ending story with this van. We just finished the 3-day trip on the Laguna route. Just got back, fully exhausted, just want to lie down, have a shower. I went to go grab the van and the rear tire is now seized. So the brake is stuck on. Could have been from the salt or because it's been super cold here at night, like -5, -6, -7. So I'm going to take the rear tire off, see if I can de-seize the brakes and go to sleep because we are exhausted. Oh my god, it is so cold this morning, and it is the first time I think our water tank is actually frozen. I've been trying to get water out of the tap and it's just been coming out so slowly and slowly getting more and more volume, which I'm pretty sure means the line was frozen somewhere. We need to get out of this cold altitude. It is just killing us. We are in Potosi, which is actually the highest city in the world, and it is one of the... Okay. It's not like I'm waiting for these guys to go.
And right now we are rushing because Marcel wants to make it to the tour of the craziest, biggest silver mine.
Most deadliest mine in the world, apparently. A lot of you might not know that my profession before traveling was actually a mining engineer. I really wanted to get a look of what mining was like way back when the standards of Western mining existed. So this is pretty much a step back in time, a couple of 100 years of how they used to do it, which is pretty cool. And this is an active mine. Before we came into the mine, They took us to the miners' markets, and this shocked me. We could just buy detonators, boosters, and high explosives, which in like any Western world would be the most illegal thing you could do. And transporting them all in the same bag gives me shivers, because my whole training career has been shown that that is probably the worst thing you could possibly do with explosives. But when in Rome, I suppose, I'm not going to tell these guys what they shouldn't be doing. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. I'm just learning along the experience. Now we're literally skirting on our asses to get through. Definitely something I've never experienced in my 10-year mining career. This is sketchy as hell. This is super sketchy. But this is how they used to do it back in the day. Nothing like this is done in the Western world anymore. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yes, this is the fused. We say to this one in Spanish, detonador fulminante. Is the detonator is like bullet. Yeah, and then I need to insert the bullet in the dynamite. It's nitroglycerin and tinitotolueno as well. It's TNT.
For reference, nitroglycerin is like super reactive explosive. That's like you can hit it with a hammer and it blows up. Ammonium nitrate, yeah?
Ammonium nitrate,
Yeah.
yes. Ammonium nitrate.
Which is just fertilizer in most countries.
Yes, it together. Here.
So essentially this is our Bolivian little bomb. So then they go and put this in the hole they drill in the rock, light the fuse, and you guys walk away, huh? Not run? Or you walk?
Walk.
Walk, don't run. Yeah. Number one rule. So don't trip. Our Bolivian comrades have just gone down the tunnel 60 or 70 meters now to light the explosives. And to me that seems kind of safe, because our general rule of thumb is 100 or 70 meters and around a corner. We'll feel the shockwave. If you're around a corner, the shockwave obviously doesn't want to go around the corner. It wants to go that way.
Yeah.
So generally we always say 100 meters and around a corner. Don't be line of sight. This is a very small explosion though. In our minds we fire like hundreds of tons at a time, like thousands actually. And you can feel it from 1.6 kilometers down. It's crazy, like the whole thing shakes. Okay, they're coming back.
Fucking hell. Welcome to Potosi, my friends.
Welcome to Potosi!
Okay, well that's how you light dynamite in Potosi. Buonasera. So we've given him our gifts, huh? I think we gave him some cola and some cola leaves. We bought the miners a few gifts to keep their spirits high. I think it's just a bit of a tradition on this tour that you give them some gifts like Coke or coca leaves or some cigarettes, alcohol. Because they do have a hard life, and I suppose it just makes their life a little bit nicer. A little bit sketchy. Up you come. So we're now leaving through another mine, another exit. So we're waiting to get past, and one of the trolley trucks with the full of ore is actually stuck on the track, because I think one of the wooden supports has come down onto the track. So these guys are trying to get it past so we can also exit the mine. Oh no, it's the second cart. Can I go? ¿Puedo pasar?
Atrás la guita. O van a pasar después ya.
¿Sí?
O pásense no. De una vez.
So this is the problem.
Yeah, come in please. Let's go, it's time.
Yeah.
Vamos, vamos. Hola.
Okay, we made it past. Time to get to the exit. So we made it out. Another exit. I'm sure there's thousands of entrance portals, as they're called, to this mine, because I bet you it just looks like an absolute Swiss cheese after 400 years of mining. But that was a pretty interesting tour. Nothing I've ever seen, nothing I probably will ever see again as a mining engineer. Crazy. So they also call this the deadliest mine in the world. There's estimated 8 million people have actually died in this mine since it started in 1500s. So this has been operating for over 407 years. I think a lot of the initial deaths were from slavery and obviously the horrible working conditions. So what's also quite interesting about this mine is it's actually owned by the miners. There's lots of other little companies that own the entrance to the mine, but once it kind of tees off into the minerals deposits, the miner owns the rights to that. So he actually has to pay for all his equipment, explosives, tracks, everything that gets him mining, extracts the minerals, and then he sells it back to the company. And then he has to pay a 13% tax to the government. Join us next time for when we dive deep into the Amazon jungle and come face to face with some Amazonian animals. But when we return, Vendi has a shock announcement that she's leaving van life in South America. So it looks like I'm solo van lifing through South America. This is going to be interesting.